It's the show that's moving fast. It's called The Captain and the Real Deal Podcast with our brother Top Gun, our flight engineer. We're talking Vikings and Hawks, man, the tip of the spear, because we float past clowns with the greatest of ease. They just buckle down to their knees with the grip of a pit bull locked on the mic. We'll be tearing it up night after night. I'm Captain Luke, an operator. I could never be a faker, and I'm serving you lyrics better than a damn waiter. Rhyming on this microphone, and I just never am alone with Big Gold and Top Gun. You know we full grown. Can you hear my tone? I'm in the podcast zone, giving you a taste of my microphone. The homie by my side, he will make you glide. So Big Gold, slice and dice and bring this party inside. Cut it up, B Gold. We get the call with the ball and we're ready to maul. There's no competition, we will never fall. Ball could be in the air or for that 9 route. I shake and bake at the line of scrimmage and I'm out. And off to the house with 6 more for the squad, generating the speed of a NASCAR hot rod. On arrival, the 12s go mad. The opposition got the Emerald Nation is glad. So brace yourself for the show that's the most. While B Gold is spinning, I'm one of your hosts. We also got the Real Deal who makes his cameo with unfiltered thoughts that'll jam you, bro. And our technician, aka Top Gun, he'll test his skills for fun, and he's never on the run. I'm Captain Fook, unfadable, just like the Real Deal. The bigger the headache, the bigger the pill. That's a shout out to the homie George Clinton, the masters of the funk, yo. That's my opinion. So in 2022, and it's season 2, Captain Fook and the Real Deal are ready for you. If you're ready for us, there's no time to discuss. It's about that action, y'all. So get your butt on the bus, because the Captain and the Real Deal are ready to go. And if you are too, then let's start the show, because it's the Captain and the Real Deal Podcast. What's it called? It's called the Captain and the Real Deal Podcast. All right, then let's start the show.
Soldiers, 12s, and all you football fanatics. Welcome to another episode of the Captain and the Real Deal Podcast. On today's episode, them guys will bring you all the latest news and information for their respective teams, the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Damen und Herren, it's time for the podcast featuring Captain Fook and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. This is the only place that's talking Hawks and Kings, but to be specific, we're talking Seattle Seahawks and Minnesota Vikings. So strap up. We're taking you on a fantastic voyage, unlike any you've ever been on, so sit back and get ready to set sail to the emerald-rich lands of the Seattle Seahawks and the treasure-filled valleys of the Minnesota Vikings, with your hosts, Captain Fook and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. Let's get it.
fans, 12s and the Scolders, we're back for our final episode of the season. It's episode 21 of the Captain and the Real Deal podcast. I'm Billy Gold, along with Captain Vuk and the Maverick, our production engineer, Mike Top Gun Cruz. We have our final, but always a great episode in store for you today. So I suggest you fill up your solo cup. I like the color yellow. Sit back and get ready for another lakeside fantastic voyage. Hey, Cap, it's been a couple weeks. Some news that we got to talk about. You ready to roll?
Absolutely ready to roll. You know, when you reverse 21, you get a 12. What a fitting way to shut down season 2 as we get ready to launch into season 3 with my guys, Top Gun, B Gold, a.k.a. The Real Deal, and your guy, Captain Vuk. Let's get ready to set the tone, B Gold.
All right, let's talk about the Super Bowl and have our recaps. Now,
The big dance.
we both wanted our squads to be in a big dance, so we're not going to be ultra pumped up for this episode. So let me tell you how my Super Bowl experience went.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Game started. I wasn't pumped, but I said, all right, we got some football. Sat on the couch, pulled the Viking throw over me,
To stay warm and keep the blood circulating.
watched the Eagles drive down the field and score a touchdown.
Yes, they did.
Oh, great opening drive by the Eagles.
It was. It was
Ne-
masterful.
It was masterful. Great play calling. Kept the defense on edge. Next thing I knew, there was 3 minutes and 46 seconds left in the game. And I woke up.
You went to sleep. It was
Not on purpose,
okay.
but I was out.
on
woke
the
up.
couch. The couch said, "Come here."
Woke up, and the Chiefs are driving down the field to get in position for the game-winning field goal.
So you literally missed the meat in between the
I
bones.
missed everything.
Oh my goodness.
Everything. I mean, I wasn't engaged. It wasn't my team. It wasn't your team. I had nothing to root for, nothing to watch. Woo. So we get to the drive, and they get down with probably inside the 20, and it's third down, and they call the play. It's a slant in and a cut out,
Yeah.
and it was definitely a hold. It was a tug. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, was it an egregious hold enough to throw the flag and shut the game down, start and reset, or
Yes.
let them play?
Yeah. No. Yes, it was.
You think they should have shut it down?
That was it.
Okay.
You know what? You can't. If you're going to be consistent all year calling that. I seen that called on my team bunch. I seen that called on your team a bunch. We changing the rules when we get to the big game.
If they mess up the momentum,
yeah.
it's a penalty.
It's a penalty.
It's a penalty.
And it was a penalty.
I saw the jersey get tugged.
Right, the jersey got tugged. And he admitted it after. He manned up.
Yeah.
He manned up and said, you know what? In how the rule is written, it was a hold. Now, did it change the whole complexity of the end of the game to just say, all right, might as well shut it off? Yes, but it was a hold. So, Eagles, great in the trenches. They got out to a pretty good lead. They didn't sustain. You can't bring it down to one or two plays. They should have been up by more than that, than a tie at that point. So, congrats to the Chiefs. You know, now they're saying they're a dynasty. Come on, you guys are you're joking.
Yeah.
Jokes. Come on.
My take on it, if you're
I'm done.
because I watched a little bit more than you apparently. But you're right. The first drive was absolutely brilliant by Philly.
Methodical.
I didn't know how Mr. Hurts would come out, never being in a game that big before at this level. Came out and handled his business, represented your city very well, Top Gun. So I was, okay, let's see what KC brings to the table. KC came out and was like, hey, we can do this and we can do that. And they came back with a nice drive themselves. And I was like, you know what? Game on. And so the game I thought was extremely competitive. It was back and forth. Nobody laid down. There was a couple of points where you thought maybe, Philly might take it away or KC might get it done. But they fought to the end. They were very, very balanced.
And then, what you just described happened, and the field goal was the difference at the last second. Great finish. A lot of people are raving about how competitive it was. But to my point that I make every single season, if you destroy your opponent to the point where they can't function, you don't have to worry about the refs making one call and even having a controversy about it impacting the win.
Yeah.
Best
shouldn't have been a controversy, though. He tugged him. You stopped him getting to the pass.
And that's the flag.
That's the flag.
So, obviously there's been a lot of memes out there about Philly fans being upset. But if you remember in 2014, it was February 2nd, and the Seattle Seahawks are going up against the Denver Broncos in our second Super Bowl ever. A lot of people said that was the worst game I've ever seen because we blew their doors off 38-8 or whatever it was, 43-8. And to me, as a fan, and you know how I think when it comes to, competition, I was ecstatic. I can't tell you when I've had more fun other than when my children were born and I got married. I mean, and when I got hired, all that stuff. I mean, it was up there in the top 10 of fantastic moments because the ref could throw a call at the end. It's not going to matter, B. Gold, because they did what Conan does sometimes when he's dominating his opponent from the old movie there. And that's how you take that outside effect out of the equation.
Right.
Do it.
And you know what? Let's do this. I got some final thoughts.
Let's go.
Are you done?
Yes, sir. I'm done.
So you know what?
I'm ready to move on from the Super Bowl.
That was a tug. Let's go back to 1975.
Oh, do it.
Let's go back to 1975.
Take us back.
When Drew Pearson, who I met at Cowboy Stadium,
Yes, you did.
obvious offensive pass interference call. Give me the call. If you're going to call a tug to mess up the route, let's call a pass interference pushing off to end the game and they win 17-14. Stop it. We dominated them all day, and the refs gave the Cowboys the victory. Okay? So.
And what did he say to you when you asked him about that moment in NFL history? You remember?
We had that on the show.
Yes, we did.
What he said to me was, that's what the refs called.
Yep.
Okay?
He knows how to answer that question.
Exactly. He knows the answer. So
Yeah.
that was probably one of our best squads in the history of the Vikings. And we got screwed out of
bad.
going to the Super Bowl because they didn't make the call. Because historically or periodically, the refs changed the way they call games in the Super Bowl. They're a little
It's a dice roll.
lax. They're a little lax
It's a
depending
dice roll.
on the crew you get.
It's too bad that you have to get nervous in tight games hoping that one of these calls don't impact the entire game or give the appearance that they impact the entire game.
Right.
That's why if you just try your best to dominate and get the score to the point where no matter what happens, you're not going to lose all that excellent effort that your team put forward.
Exactly.
And
So, you know what? The call was
it's a dice
proper. The refs have learned a lot since 1975.
you know what? You're right. It's been 50 years, but they've been on it. They've been on it.
It's
Steadily getting
48
better.
years, and
Yeah.
they've finally
That's
gotten a little
lovely.
bit better.
That's right. It's not 25 yet. My bad. I was looking into the future for perhaps.
It's close enough. You rounded it. You rounded it off.
I got that city math, man. So
All
it's
right.
all good.
So enough of that.
Yeah, we're done with that.
Let's-
Goodbye, Super Bowl.
Let's move on to some open items from the previous episodes. I only have one open item. And Cap, unfortunately, you were responsible
Uh-oh.
to make sure that some person in our environment kept his word.
Oh, you know what? He did not come through. He hasn't sent me anything.
Seattle Socrates
I'm about to hit him up.
from our fantasy football league
Yep, gave his word. What
gave
is up?
his word that we'd get a picture of him after he stocked his roster in a meaningless eliminated playoff game, and I still whooped his butt. And he said, and the bet was we'd have to wear the other person's gear. And he has gone radio silent. He has left planet Earth, and he's not responding.
Oh my gosh! We'll get a response.
Cap is hitting him up. We might get a response for the end of the show, but this just goes to show you. Come on, man!
I'm letting him know B Gold is letting him have it.
All right. While you send that,
Come on, Socrates.
we moving on to what we've done. Our final episode with the by the numbers. We are this week at number 22, so we'll pick it up on number 23 next year. It's been kind of interesting. We've kind of expanded on this a little bit. So
It's been a fun segment.
yeah, Vikings have worn number 22. The expansion draft, we picked Dick Personen, was a cornerback, played 1 year for us. He was gone. Billy Butler, a couple of years, 62 to 64. Jeff Jordan, don't know him. Jarvis Redwine, I like his name, but didn't do much. Steve Freeman, Ken Johnson, David Palmer, kind of a punt returner. Tyrone Carter, another defensive back. Ken Irvin, don't know. Artis Pinner, don't know. Benny Sapp, another cornerback for a couple years. Harrison Smith, from 2012 to the present. Harry.
He's been there that long.
Yeah,
Wow,
2012.
seasoned veteran.
Yeah, seasoned veteran. He has been our captain. He's been an inspirational leader, leading by example.
Playmaker.
Has the potential to get to the Hall of Fame. I would probably pick him based on all the names I read, but I left one out on purpose.
Let's hear it.
There is a record in the NFL that will never, ever, ever be broken.
Hold that thought. Is this a fun fact?
It was in the past.
Okay. That means he's got fresh fun facts coming,
It
y'all.
was in the
Yeah.
past. Hall of Famer, Mr. who I met at the MetLife Remembrance.
In what year?
I met him this year.
2020.
3. No, was it 22? When was I there?
It was 2022.
2022. So it ends with a 2-2 for the 2-2.
There you go. Get them deuces in there.
Mr. Paul Krause.
Oh, your guy. Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. That's it.
A Viking from
Paul Krause.
1968 to 1979 is the all-time leader in interceptions that will never, ever, ever be broken.
He's revered in Viking Nation.
So I'm going, though Harry Harrison Smith has had a great career, you can't take it away from Paul K.K. Krause. Come on now.
Look at the numbers and the years of service and the pick numbers. Just look at them. Compare them.
Yeah, exactly.
mean-
Paul Knockout Krause.
He was just
Come
like
on now.
no-fly zone everywhere.
Exactly. All right, Cap, what you got for number 22 in the Hawks?
In Emerald Nation, we got quite a few names here. Got one, Tony Blue. He was there for a year, 87. I don't even know if he finished the year. We got Dave Brown. Talk about him in a little bit. Trey Brown, Bino Bryant, Quentin Dunbar, Nesby Glasgow, who was an OG. Fred Jackson, I'll talk about him in a little bit. Julius Jones, good running back out of Notre Dame. Paul Miranda, CJ Prosise, another running back we got out of Notre Dame, not very durable. A lot of comparisons made between him and Rashad Penny. Hopefully Rashad Penny can finish stronger. Damian Robinson, Fred Thomas, Robert Turbin, who's doing some radio announcing right now for us and was on a successful Seahawks squad. A guy named John Vaughn. And the last one was a dude named Jimmy Williams in 2005. So I want to give a special shout out to one of these guys named Fred Brown, mainly because he went to Mississippi Valley State, which is where Jerry Rice went. But when I had season tickets to the Seahawks in the Quest Stadium, this guy, when they would do kickoff team, he was on the kickoff team. He's one of the arrows that go down there and try to make the tackle. He would look at our section and we would hype him up specifically. And then he would show us some love and eye contact. Then he'd go down and try to, blow somebody up. So that was a lot of fun. But I have to give this award to Dave Brown. College Hall of Famer, played with us forever. He's in the Seattle Seahawks Ring of Fame. And may he rest in peace as a legitimate Seattle Seahawk with 10 years of good service, 76 to 86. So hats off to Dave Brown. Gotta love it.
All right, that's where we go. We got the our segment by the numbers, finishing the year off on the 2-2, and we'll come back next year on the 2-3. I'm trying to think who was a 2-3 for the Vikings. We might start off with not much facts.
I think right off the cuff, Marcus Trufant comes to mind, which I will look forward to talking about. I mean, because he's from the city of Destiny.
I hope I'm thinking something about 23 in for the Vikings doesn't seem like a number that resonates. For the for the Hall of Fame. You know, other than Xavier, roads are open, Woods, but we'll see what happens.
Roads are open.
or I got a cramp. I'm going out of the game. No. Anyway, let's move on to some fun facts. Fun fact number 1.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Vikings wide receiver JJ, a.k.a. Mr. Dynamite, wins the Offensive Player of the Year.
Hats off, JJ. You deserved it.
He edged Chiefs quarterback Pat Mahomes, Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, and Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill for the award. The 23-year-old Mr. JJ is just the 4th wide receiver ever to win the Offensive Player of the Year, joining Jerry Rice, who won it twice.
We spoke about him earlier. You got to love it.
Michael Thomas, and Cooper Kupp.
You got to keep digging for stuff you want, brother, in this life.
Fun fact number 2.
I know you're gonna dig this.
The Vikings' victory over the Buffalo Bills was given the title Game of the Year.
You got that laser vision. Love it. Love it.
You know, it's funny. I had lunch with my supervisor yesterday, and we were talking about something. He goes, your eyes just say it all.
They do.
All right, let's get to fun fact number 3.
I know you're gonna dig this.
The NFL's Moment of the Year went to Mr. J.J. Justin Dynamite Jefferson for the 4th and 18th play against the Buffalo Bills. What say you, Cap? You got any fun facts?
I got a couple of fun facts. Just, you know, I got to drop the knowledge. One of them we've dropped already, but it wasn't really framed as a fun fact, but now it's official. So, Seattle Seahawks fun fact number 1.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Tyreek Woolen tied the NFL lead with interceptions with 6, coming out of a 5th-round draft pick from the University of Texas, San Antonio. Made his first Pro Bowl, and he also had 16 passes defensed, which was tied for the 4th most in the NFL. And this is coming from a recap of some information that I captured on the Seahawks website. The guy had a great year. We all know that. He was up for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Didn't get it. I'm not mad. Sauce Gardner got it.
We had that conversation.
We
it was
did.
On one of our shows.
The debates were solid, and he didn't get it done. So that's fun fact number 1.
Doesn't take away from his year.
No, not at all. Not at all. Adds to it, actually. And fun fact number 2.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Now, this was highlighted during our season.
Well, wait a minute. It just doesn't sound right without a skull horn. We got to come up with some kind of sound.
Season 3, trust us.
We got to come up with some kind
Season
of
3, you're going to hear the Hawks screeching in the air.
Just throwing it out there.
So we talked about this when it happened because it was legit. But now that the season is over, we have to confirm that Kenneth Walker III, our rookie out of Michigan State University, ran at a 22.09 mile an hour speed on a 74-yard touchdown against the Chargers. And that landed him the 2nd fastest ball carrier in the NFL this season. So at one point he was first, but there was one, and I don't have it with me, that was a little bit faster, not by much. But the guy,
you're going to go into the off season with an open item?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Willing to do it.
All right. We got to know who that person is.
Oh, I'm going to identify him for you. I got him somewhere in the notes.
Hey, Mike, was I on any rosters for 1 week during the season? You were. It could have been the real deal.
You never know.
My 40 time was spectacular.
It was blazing. You never know. So those are my 2 fun facts. There's a lot of good numbers inside the Seahawks. If you want to check it out, hit that website up and dive through those numbers. But it was a good fun time for the old Emerald Nation this year.
All right, last episode we did year-end grades and we did the defense. This week we're going to do the offense and the special teams. So let's roll into it.
Jump in.
You know what? Let's start with the offense first. No, you know what? let's do the special teams first.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. Special teams, I'll do mine, you do yours, then we'll go to the offense. Special teams, kicker, Greg the Leg Joseph. Had a game-winning 61-yard field goal. Made some clutch kicks. Missed some easy kicks. Missed a whole lot of extra points. Greg, you're out, dude.
He's done?
You're out. You're out.
Wow.
You're out.
Brutal.
I'm not even bringing you in for competition. You are done.
That is so cold.
Mighty Ryan Wright, our punter. Dude, you came out of nowhere. You looked like a refrigerator, and you were punting like a maniac all year long. Swapping the field. I'm a fan.
Getting it done, eating sandwiches, and just playing good ball.
You are back, dude. I'm going to give you a multi-year contract. The only reason I'm not doing more than a multi-year, which means 2, is because you might eat your way out of a job.
I hope not. If he does, just put him at D-line.
Long snapper, Andrew DiPiola. You know what? Great year. Didn't see a lot of miscues by you. We're signing you back up, dude. You're in the fold. Kick returner, Kenny Nwangwu. Took a couple to the house.
He was fun to watch.
In his career so far.
He was fun to watch.
He's lightning in a bottle. I hope he gets a little bit more opportunity at running back this year. We'll talk about that in the offense. Kenny, you're under a rookie contract. You ain't going nowhere, and we try to get a little bit more from the offense. Punt returner, Jalen, unreliable Rager.
Oh, not good.
You were
not a good
drafted the
nickname.
spot before Justin Jefferson by the Eagles. They gave up on you. We took a chance on you just as a punt returner. You had a couple good plays, but you also made a couple bonehead moves that we talked about in the past episodes. You're going to probably be pretty cheap to bring back. I'm just not, I don't know. If we don't bring him back, I think we flip a draft choice back to us. You're a cut. You're out.
Jettisoned.
So his replacement is going to be rookie wide receiver Jalen Naylor, who Dede Westbrook, our wide receiver coach, recommended the Vikings draft. He got a year under his belt now. He's going to move on to take over the punt returning capabilities. Cap, that finishes up the Vikes special teams. So let's slide on over.
And what's your final
slickety slide.
final grade for your
See you
special
9 to
teams?
5.
Just
Sail along. That's what you do.
that's it. What's your final grade for your special teams?
Special teams, I'm gonna say a B minus.
Okay, that's
A
not
B
bad.
minus. A B minus.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, with regard to our squad, I was overall pleased with them. They weren't turnover machines. They had a couple of moments where they did good. But the most bright star for us was our kicker, Jason Myers. He was 34 for 37 with a 91.9%
Yes, he was.
accuracy percentage.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about Mr. Jason Myers.
And we re-signed him. So you can try to get him again next year for your fantasy team.
Yeah, exactly. And why did you not draft him this year?
So
Actually, wait. I cut him, and you saw
did.
him on waivers, and you passed him over.
you did. And let me just
You know how many
remind
games he won
let me
this year?
just remind the viewers and the listeners who won the fantasy football championship.
But you
this
could have
year.
won it a lot easier if you had a good kicker.
Nothing's easy in this world. I don't want to go through easy lanes. I want the challenge.
I looked up and down your roster,
What'd you think?
the history of your rosters.
What'd you think?
You typically, you won, so obviously you did a good job. But just that blatant of a move to leave a solid all-pro kicker up there.
And ladies and gentlemen, here comes the bait. So let me just run through this now. Our punting game, Michael Dixon did a really good job. There was a couple of errant moments in there, but it wasn't the norm. And he really was putting the ball in spots where we needed it to help our defense, which was porous, out. I'm a little frustrated that we didn't take any kicks or punts to the house. I don't like that. It's been too many years since we had the chance to get a real threat back there that could do that. So I hope that's something that we look at in the offseason. But overall, we weren't a liability. That unit was not a liability. With our kicker the snapper that you made me identify, Carson Tinker, getting the ball to the kickers and to the holders. I give our squad a B+.
B+. Wow. All right. Good grade. Good grade.
Yeah, they weren't a liability. That's why,
Okay,
They were helping out the defense a lot.
Let's get on to the offense.
The big O.
The big O. You know what? I'm going to save the big position, the QB, for the end. So let's start with the offensive line. You know, right tackle Brian O'Neill had a solid.
You mean outside linebacker?
No, we're doing offense.
Let's do O.
Outside linebacker don't play offense.
That's it. I was like, hold on, I'm looking at the outside linebackers on my D. I got you.
Yeah, we did that. We did that last
I
show.
know. I'm about to do it again and give him another C.
Man, we should have did it, Mike, just see if he wavered on anything.
No, I'd have been locked in.
All right, offensive line. Let's start with right tackle. Brian O'Neill, been an all-pro. Awesome player. Grades very high. He had a calf injury at the end of the year, which kind of affected our offensive line, but we did have some people step up and do okay. So Brian O'Neill, good to go. Rookie right guard Ed Ingram out of LSU. Had an up and down year. Great run blocker. Struggled on pass protection. But I think that's more because our center, he was trying to learn the system and make up for our center's lack of staying off roller skates. But I'm bringing Ed Ingram back. I'm plugging him back in. He learned a lot. We'll see where we go. Let's see the growth for next year. Center Garrett Bradbury on the final year of his 5-year rookie contract. We did not pick up the last option, so he's a free agent. Let him go. Get out of Viking territory.
Get out of Dodge.
All right, left guard Ezra Cleveland. Another guy's been around for 2 or 3 years. He's played admirable, not great, not awful. Again, I think if the center position was a little stronger, he'd look a lot better on paper. Bring Ezra Cleveland back. I think he's still under contract. Good to go. Left tackle, Christian Darrisaw, all-pro, stud, going to be here for years. Did miss a couple games this year with injury, but this dude...
When he was gone, his absence was felt.
It was.
You mentioned him a lot this year.
Yeah, we're going to bring up a couple of reserves for the offensive line. Oli Uda played a little bit and did okay when Brian O'Neill went down. Chris Reed came in to be a center when Bradbury got hurt and he got destroyed. But he's not a true center. Never played center before. Yeah. The next week he was a little bit better. Blake Brandel was an interesting guy. Has not played for the Vikings. He's been on our squad for 2 or 3 years. Practice squad player. On the roster, but never played. This year, he stepped in when Darrisaw went out. Played wonderful, but then got hurt and was out the rest of the year. He did come back for the playoffs, but we were only in the playoffs for 1 game, so not much to say there. Verdarian Lowe got a cup of coffee on the line this year, but not much. So let's move to the tight end. Overall, I'm very happy with the offensive line. Tight ends. Irv Smith Jr. was supposed to be the next greatest thing since sliced bread for probably the last 3 or 4 years since we drafted him. Hurt again.
Be honest. Do you want him on the roster next year?
He's a free agent. I know. I don't. No.
You're not going to try to re-sign him?
No. And the reason we're not going to try and re-sign him is because during the year we gave up a number 2 pick for TJ High Game Hawkinson.
Yes, you did.
Right. And Hawkinson was everything that he
was advertised
as. And we got to sign him long-term and keep him. Second tight end is Johnny Mund, who contributed blocking and some good pass catching ability. Came over from the Rams with O'Connell. Definitely played good. Let's move to the wide receivers. JJ, nothing to say. Dude, we gave all the accolades. The dude's probably, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL, he's in the top 3.
Did you see him catch the pass from the Eiffel Tower?
I did.
Okay, good.
I did.
All right, good.
Our second receiver, Adam Thielen, has a big cap hit this year, like $19 million.
Ooh.
If he doesn't do a restructure, Thielen, the undrafted free agent that's been his whole career with the Vikings, will be jettisoned out of town. I'd like to see him.
No mercy in Viking country. Overboard.
I'd like to see him come back, but you better. I'm not paying you $19 million to catch 40 catches. What are you, crazy? Third wide receiver this year, KJ Osborne, had some flashes of brilliance. Whether he can be a number 2, we shall see. He's made progression each and every year. I think he can. So I think we let Thielen walk, save some cap space, make Osborne a number 2. And we got this guy that our wide receiver coach told us to draft, pined for him for the Vikings to draft, Jalen Naylor out of Michigan, I believe. and we got to get him into some, more of a role, and I think he could be the number 3, moving Osborne up to number 2. Got a chance to look at free agency here. There's a bunch of wide receivers this year, or we get somebody in the draft.
Yeah, Osborne's definitely solid at a number 2.
Yeah,
he can hold his own.
He was a 3 this year, so
he can hold his own.
We think he can. Fullback, C.J. Ham.
How often do you guys use the fullback?
Well, yes, that's where I'm going with this. We kept him this year. He's a fan favorite. He's been an admirable Viking, but the offense has changed this year.
I just want to hear how you seal this guy's fate for this admirable Viking.
Been an admirable Viking, but again, $4 or $5 million on the cap.
Here we go.
CJ,
walk the plank.
CJ's got to go away.
He's got to go.
He gotta go away.
Wow.
And we just don't use those packages anymore.
Abundance ship.
Right. Let's get to the running back
That's
position.
perfect.
Dalvin has got to go cook somewhere else.
I know you don't want him.
He's got to go cook somewhere else.
He just had a bad stretch of 4 games or so,
They
right?
just announced yesterday that he went in for surgery for a broken shoulder.
So he's playing with a broken shoulder for you guys, and you're going to throw him out like that?
Since 2019, the shoulder's been broken.
That sounds like Viking toughness to me. And this is how you reward him?
Yes.
Take away his medical benefits and send him down the road.
Yeah, you're not a line cook
Thanks
anymore.
for
Get
shredding
out.
your shoulder for us for the last 4 years.
Get out.
Have a good day.
Dalvin, the door is open. He's $19 million against the cap. I should say he's $14 million a cap this year.
How many touchdowns did he score with a broken shoulder then from 2019? We should do that as a homework.
Yeah, exactly. But who cares?
Your Vikings care?
No, we don't. Running backs are, when you get to be 30, 31, you're done.
Without his points, I wonder if you would have won all the games you guys did win.
Absolutely, we would have.
Okay.
Alexander Madison, who's been his backup, is a free agent this year. Save the money. They're estimating Madison for $4 to $5 million.
He may land in Seattle. Don't be surprised.
You want to pay $14 million? You want to pay $4 to $5? He's not going to Seattle. Are you
Don't
kidding
be
me?
surprised.
Not with Drew Luck as the quarterback.
Our guy can pull any trigger.
Not with Drew Luck as the
John
quarterback.
Schneider can make any deal happen.
At Madison's going to say, I'm out here on an island by myself. Drew Luck is playing quarterback? All right, third running back. Kenny Nwangu, mostly special teams, kick returns. Going to get some more action this year.
They should.
Ty Chandler out of one of the Carolinas showed some promise in preseason, got hurt, came back late in the season, did okay. The guy had a great college career. These guys is going to be running back by committee for the Vikings this year. Going to be running back by committee because Cook is cooked and he's out the door.
That's a recipe to win if you can do it.
Exactly. And that's what most of the NFL does. Look at the 2 teams in the Super Bowl. Was there a bell cow?
It's a 2 or 3 headed monster.
There was no bell cow.
And there's gear switching too. That's big.
Exactly.
Hammer, lightning, mix
Thunder
of
and
both.
lightning.
Who can catch the ball, third down danger, all of that stuff.
And finally, quarterback position. Kirk Cousins, Captain Checkdown, and Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins, you know what?
He's pressing him.
He's a good back. He ain't pressing him. Let's be realistic. He ain't pressing him. But he is a legitimate backup quarterback. But it was a 1-year deal. I would take him back. He gives me a little solace. As not opposed to some guy that just looks good. Actually, he didn't even look good holding a clipboard in Sean Mannion.
What are your options if he's gone?
Let's see what's out there.
He may get offered more money if he had a consistent year.
Yeah, go somewhere. That's fine. I want you back, but I'm not begging you to come back. We'll find somebody.
Well, it's clear that based on what you said today, that you're not going to beg anybody to come back.
Right.
How many years left for Kurt, though? How many years does he have left?
He has 1 more year left on his contract.
Oh.
So we have a determination to make during this offseason. Trade him to the quarterback needy San Francisco 49ers, who Kyle Shanahan loves himself some Kirk Cousins, and see if this is the year to get rid of him, or ride with Mr. Gumby, who never gets hurt. He knows how to take a hit. He knows how to fall. He plays all the games, and he had a great year. He had a top 3 quarterback year. Kurt Checkdown. Now, they're killing him on the last play of the game, and we went through this on the last episode. We broke down the play. I had Top Gun sit in my office to break down the play. There was nowhere for him to go. He was going to get slammed to the ground. At least he thought big man Hawkinson might have been able to shed the tackle and make the 5 yards, but he threw it high, so he had no chance to shake the tackle. Kurt, I'm not sure. If you don't give him an extension, he's going to know he's on borrowed time. He's going to be playing happy feet. Do we give him an extension? Well, if we give him an extension, it's got to be one more year because he's getting up there. He's 35. The clock is starting to tick.
You have decisions to make.
Starting to tick. So for me, as a Viking fan, I got plan A. Give him a year. Give him a year. Draft your quarterback this year. We're at like 23 or 24 in the first round.
You need to really think about your number 2 QB, though. Seriously. Kirk, he takes
Did you guys think about your number 2 quarterback?
Of course we did.
Who?
Drew Lock stayed there the whole time. He was ready to
saying,
go. He was
he's
ready to go.
awful. Awful.
He was ready to go.
Oh, no, he's awful.
That's what they said about Geno.
He's awful, too.
Okay.
He had one good year.
Okay.
1 out of 12. Do the math. What's the
He had a lot of good years. They just weren't on the film.
What's the percentage of 1 in 12? It's like 8%.
He had a lot of good years. They just weren't on film, and I'm gonna break that down.
What was he doing?
I'm gonna tell you.
You got.
I will tell you.
You got practice squad stats.
I will tell you.
All right. He had a great year.
I will let you know.
So what I would say is, if there's an opportunity to trade him to San Francisco, get me some Trey Lance and get me another pick, and let San Francisco think they're going to go win but if I can't get Trey Lance and another decent pick, a second-round pick, Cousins played great. You can't. He brought them back so many times this year with a defense that I'll talk about later with some breaking news that.
a lot of close games.
Yeah, but because the defense gave up 40 points every week.
Yeah, Kirk came through in a lot of games.
So you know
really
what?
close.
Offense, A- for the year. A-.
Wow, high score.
A-.
Well done.
What say you?
Good breakdown. I'll go ahead and start with our trench ground pounders and pavers as well in the trenches. Our starting O-line, we started 2 tackles, left tackle, right tackle.
Rookies.
As you know,
Rookies.
Charles Cross, left tackle, and our guy Abraham Lucas, right tackle.
Yep.
They held up very, very well. There was a small stretch there where there was a couple of things going on, but for the most part, they had a great year and they learned a lot. So I think we're good at tackles for a while.
Wait, let's stop right there.
Let's hear it.
Are you worried about the sophomore jinx?
No, not at all.
Okay, well, it happens all the time.
Not with Seattle-trained players. No.
Really?
Other teams.
You have some documentation of that I can see?
Yeah. Name a player, and I'll tell you how he did in his second year.
Geno
Let's
Smith.
talk about Russell Wilson. First year gets to the playoffs, second year, Super Bowl. So
That's just Geno Smith. Geno Smith.
we're going to talk about Geno in a little
Smith,
bit.
this
I'm going to
is-
save him for last, like you said, Kurt, Captain, check down Cousins for last. The starting left guard was Damian Lewis. He came in initially at right guard. He has some versatility because he can play center. He really did a good job. I liked him coming out of LSU. He held it down at left guard, so I think we're good there. But here come the question marks. Right guard, Gabe Jackson, not sold. Not sold. And the Phil Haynes, who's his backup, not sold. So I'm concerned about right guard. And then our center, Austin Blythe, he was wearing roller skates too much, especially on run plays. And they were putting the huge 3 techniques over him, knowing he couldn't do anything.
You saw the article. You guys are actually looking at Bradbury from us.
And there was a time where they would have took anybody. And Kyle Fuller, who I think we got from Pittsburgh, I think he came from Pittsburgh. Don't like him either. Now, there is a rookie that's going to be a rookie next year that was in the NFL Combine. He has a hyphenated last name. I forget what.
Oh,
team
yeah, I
the guy
saw him.
from. This
He's
guy
actually, he
is-
might be out of Minnesota.
He is out of Minnesota.
Yes, I know who he is.
He is a beast.
Yes.
They put him against everybody.
I saw him.
I want that guy. I'll take him in the 5th selection in the first round if they could get him. That dude is what you need right there. But we got to figure out center. And I like Austin, but he can stay on the roster, but I don't want him starting. I'd rather have him become a player coach in plain clothes on game day. I mean,
It's John.
It's tough.
It's John Michael Smith, I think.
that's the dude.
Yeah.
It might be Schmidt or Smith, but
Smith,
he is
yeah.
a baller.
John Michael Smith's, and he's out of Minnesota.
I'd like to get him.
Yes.
He's legitimate.
He's legit.
Run, pass, he'll pancake you, everything. So that and then right guard.
I got
little
him on
concerned.
our. I got him on our pick for
On
number
your watch list?
number 23 too, because centers usually
Yeah.
don't go in the top 5.
Well, we got a 5 and a 20. So if we if we don't want him at 5, there's somebody else that got their eye on. That's cool. But if he's there at 20, we need to try to get him.
Yeah, I saw that.
We really want him.
There's also a guy called Luke Weipler, who's the second rated center.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean,
Well, I'm sure they got the scouts got their eyes on what they need. Stone Forsythe is a tackle that we have. He's played good. I like him, but we need some guards. We need some interior linemen on offense that can not only pass block, but you got to move people. We got some dangerous nose guards and tackles in the NFC West that you're going to see twice a year. If you can't handle the center of your line, you're going to have a problem. So let's move on out to the tight ends. We had a really excellent tight end room, even though Will Dissly got hurt. But I love what Noah Fant did. Colby Parkinson had a breakout year, and they picked up Tyler Mabry later after Dissly kind of went down. But I'm good with our tight end group. We just got to stay healthy. And there's tight ends all through this draft, too. So maybe they'll scoop up one and have them on the practice squad until they're ready to ball out. So good to go there. Let's talk about our wide receiver position. We got DK Metcalf. I'm good to go. Tyler Lockett, good to go.
Isn't he getting too old?
Negative.
Lockett? How old is he?
No, you talking about the most polished receiver in the NFL?
Polished?
Yeah, he's doing just fine.
Did he buff himself up or something?
Derek Young.
Who?
Derek Young, you don't know who he is.
Did he play at all?
Yes, he did. He's a rookie. One of our
catch-
8
how-
rookies, I think it is, that gave
How many
quality
catches
starts.
did he have?
Don't know, but I tell you what, when he started to play at the end of the season, he made catches on third down.
He did?
That's big time.
Okay.
Rookie.
All right. Taking your word for it.
Laquan Treadwell and Penny Hart. Penny Hart, this might be a make it or break it year for him. He's been on the roster for a while, but he's like number 3 on the depth chart right now. I also like Marquise Goodwin. He got hurt. He's not listed on this particular roster, but if he can stay healthy, he's a dangerous option, and he's good on third down. And he's got that burst and that Olympic jumping ability. So let's move over to the quarterback situation. Our number 2 quarterback is a young man that you may or may not know. I don't know if you refer to him very often as Drew Lock.
Yeah, Drew.
You heard of him?
Yeah, Drew. Not so lucky Lock. Yeah, I do.
And well, let me go back though. I got to touch on the running backs. We keep a fullback too, Nick Ballore. That's been something that
He also plays defense too.
Pete Carroll. Yeah, he can play inside linebacker. He's our leader on special team, kickoff and punt team, and he's revered. Like you said, he's very.
He's a
admirable
Swiss
Seahawk.
Army knife.
He is that. And then we got the running back situation. We got Kenneth Walker III. We got DJ Dallas. We got Godwin Ikwebuike, who's returning kicks for us and actually showing a lot of promise. Travis Homer, who may or may not be on the squad next year. And we still got Rashad Penny coming back. And then I'll move back to the quarterback that I didn't mention. This is a young man, Top Gun, if you didn't know, that was recently named the AP Comeback Player of the Year. Now, there were those that were like, it's a no-brainer. There were others that said, well, what is he coming back from?
Exactly.
And let me break it down for
Been in the
those
league for 10 years.
that need
coming
to
back
know.
from.
They think that the comeback player of the year is a award for people coming back from a physical injury. They're coming back from adversity, regardless of what form it comes in.
How about just not lack of playing
How
time?
about and what can you do when you don't get a lot of playing time?
Show in practice that you should start.
You generally wash out of the league depending on how you're built, or
He couldn't beat out Russell Wilson, who was horrible
you
for the
see
Broncos.
another road with a bunch of branches and stuff in it, Top Gun, and there's rubble, but it's not well traveled. You go down that freaking road. You watch that film, you hit them weights, you study, you get limited reps, but make them count. Always in your mind saying, I'm going to get a chance one day. When I do, I will be ready. As opposed to others coming in and like, I haven't looked at my playbook because I don't play.
But he's had opportunities and he wasn't ready.
He's ready.
He wasn't ready.
He was
and
ready.
by the way, how is he going to look in a Tampa Bay Buccaneer uniform next year?
We'll never know.
When he goes with Dave Canales as a package move to the Bucs.
That's recent news. So he brought it up. We're going to lose our quarterback coach, Dave Canales. He's heading to Tampa Bay.
Yep.
I don't know where Byron Leftwich is going, who was the QB coach.
They got
over
rid of
there.
him.
But I believe Gino's committed to staying in Seattle, and we're committed to trying to keep him. But we shall
You got
see.
inside information? You
It's
want
a
to share with us?
business. No, I'm not going to call Pete on this one.
35 for 6?
I'm not going to call John Schneider on this
So
one.
what's that? So it's
I'm gonna let
210.
them
You
work
got-
it out.
You guys got $210 million put on your quarterback?
I'm going to let them work it out.
How old is Gino?
Hey, I ain't worried about that man's age.
You have to
Why would I
when
be worried about his age
You
right
fall off
now?
a cliff when you're a quarterback at a certain age.
He's fine. He
Man,
led the NFL
he's
in
gonna look
completion
good. He's going to look good in that
He led
orange.
the NFL in completion percentage this year.
Orange works for Gino.
Made it to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, and then so Tampa Bay could take him along with your quarterback coach.
And our Super Bowl, I realized after all our games were done, our Super Bowl was in the
Can't
very
get him,
first
Mike. I
week of the
can't- I'm trying
season.
to get-
Our Super Bowl was against the Denver Broncos. That was the most electric environment.
I can't wait till week
All
1
year.
next year when Drew
Neither
Lock's
can I.
playing quarterback.
I always look forward to week one.
I cannot wait. Drew Lock's playing quarterback, and you're going, we got all these great players, and we got no quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see. And if they trust him to be the QB for some reason, then we're going to give him the same love and trust that they gave Gino. Because they know what they're doing. They've proven that.
Yeah.
So overall, I give our offense a B. I think they did.
I think you guys did. I
think they did a
I would
lot
have
of
gave you a B
good this
plus. I
year.
think you did good this year. You got a top 10 running back. I like K9, top 10 running back right there. I like DJ Metcalf. I think Lockett, I think you overhype a little bit. He's a good player. He's not a great player. That's for my opinion. He's consistent. He's not a great
very
player.
consistent.
Yeah, he's consistent. Good tackles. Sophomore jinx sometimes. We'll see how that goes
Yep.
because I see a lot of the Indianapolis Colts. Was the Indianapolis Colts had this great offensive line for like 2 or 3 years after they came out of college, and they've done nothing since. So, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. But, I mean, you guys got a lot of promise. You probably had, if not the second best draft last year for people who performed.
Who beat our draft?
They were talking about it on Super Bowl week. I think that the Chiefs had, didn't Pacheco, wasn't he a running back?
Pacheco?
Yeah, he was a rookie. They had like 2 or 3 guys on their team as too. Obviously, you're not going to say they're better. Cap, you're a Seahawks fan.
I mean,
I'm trying to look objectively here.
Let me look up a stat that might give us something subjective. Hold on.
And you know what? I love when we talk about defensive guys and you say, the guy made 345 tackles. Yeah, he was on the field for 64 out of 65 minutes of the game.
I know.
Of course he's going to make all the tackles.
No.
What's he going to
That
do?
gets inflated. Yeah, it's like you have no possession. You're out there all day. Exactly.
What are you gonna do?
That's good insight. That's absolutely right. You got to pay attention to that. God, it's like, can we get off the field? Jeez. So listen, there were 8 rookies, and I've mentioned this before. That's all significant playing time this season.
Oh, no, your rookies were spot on.
But I'm looking for next year. That experience is going to help us out so much.
I couldn't agree more.
So
Except for the dreaded sophomore jinx, which you just never know.
yeah, I mean,
I know there's some
think a
special
lot of
curtain
that-
over Seattle that doesn't going to happen, but it does happen.
if the Emerald Lantern stays lit.
If they didn't, if it never happened, they wouldn't talk about it. It
No,
wouldn't
you're
be
right.
a thing.
You're right.
It's a thing.
It's a thing, but just like being on the cover of Madden is a thing.
Yeah, well, you know what?
know?
They won't put me on the cover of Madison because they don't want me to break the streak.
You almost signed for it one year, didn't you?
Why wouldn't I?
Even though the money was astronomical, but you were like, I don't want none of that.
All right, we good?
It was more about being identified too fast.
That was good. And you know
Because it
what?
was the real deal
I
they wanted on there.
really hope you guys signed
I'm
Gino.
good, bro.
I just think he's. I think it's.
It's gonna be interesting.
He wants the bank. This is his last chance to get the money.
We shall see. We can be
last
creative
chance.
with contracts, and Seattle's known under this regime for taking care of their people.
Well, then why'd you let Gino go?
didn't
Not
let
Gino.
Gino
Why'd you
go.
let Russell go? If you're taking care of your people, he was your
Oh,
people.
let me
You
clear
told
that
me.
yeah.
You told me for 2 seasons in a row he was your people.
He was
and
our
you
guy.
let him go.
It
You
ain't
just
about
got
us
through saying
letting
we
him
take
go.
care of our people.
It's not about
he
us
just
letting
came
him
out
go.
of your.
Let me-
It came out of your. You
Let me
said
break
it.
this down
You said we
again.
take care of our people.
That man had a no trade clause in his contract. If he wanted to stay like he said he wanted to, he
You
would be a
said you
Seahawk.
take care of your people.
We do.
You didn't. You said you
But
let him go.
He had a contract that he negotiated
Yep.
that says he can leave if he wants to.
No,
He chose to
no.
leave. Don't put that on Seattle.
It was an open.
No.
It was open clause.
It's not. He can deny it.
Deny it, but
He
he
can. He can say, I don't
you
want to go.
traded him. You could have said, you know what?
He has to
You
say
are
yes to
QB.
that. Under his
No.
contract terms, he has to say yes.
Open item. I want to see that contract.
I'll find the info
All right.
for you, but he had a
I wanna see that
contract with a
contract.
no trade
I wanna see it.
clause.
Yeah, exactly.
That's negotiated and
he
given to
waived
the
it
player.
He waived to get it from Happy Pete Carroll.
He wanted to leave.
Exactly.
And so what?
And you let him.
What do we do? Yeah, he wants to go. Why would you hold somebody against their will?
You told because just
That's not healthy.
give him what he wants.
That's not healthy. That's bad for the mindset.
All right.
You want to roll on, and ride on the Bronco land and see how things work out.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
And we didn't pay too close attention, but I don't know. He seemed like they struggled over there.
Well,
this year.
wait a minute. You didn't pay too close attention. I've known you for how long?
We were
watching
all the
every
Hawks were
second.
locked in.
Are you kidding
All
me?
the Emerald
We
Nation
didn't
was
watch
very
anything.
interested, especially
Oh,
after our first game.
come on
we,
now.
We were locked in, and you know
Of
it.
course you were.
You know it. There was a lot of open wounds there for some.
Of course,
So-
yeah, including the guy sitting across from me.
Hey, sometimes you got to take some time to get over stuff, man. Thank God for this show.
All right. Let's get to some breaking news this week.
Well, let me just say this before we break the news
All
open.
right.
When we heard them chanting Gino
Yeah.
in the first game
Yeah.
against the Broncos,
Yep.
we were good. We were good.
Why wouldn't they do it? It's the time to do it. Is get your former quarterback.
That was perfect. But did you know he did the whole cycle though? He took down all of his adversaries.
The best chant of the year was
Which
the
one?
Bronco fans saying, counting down the clock
That is
for the
horrible.
play clock.
Helping
That
him
was the
out.
best.
You know that just another thing they picked up in our first game. He was using the same signals for his receivers that he was using with our receivers.
Of course he was.
Our receivers picked up on it. It was like Yo, he's using the same.
It was like Gruden in the Super Bowl.
What is it? Why banana? Whatever that play was.
So
everybody
Top
knows
Gun,
that play.
John Gruden was a coach of one team, and he went to another team. They went to the Super Bowl, and they played each other. And the other team knew every call he made because he coached them. And they got beat in the Super Bowl.
Oh, golly. Who's in charge of the quality control, man?
I could tell you if it was me.
Oh, we know you.
Mike will tell you about me in quality control.
He's no joke, huh? All right, cool. I'm ready here, brother.
Let's
Break
get
it
to
open.
breaking news this week. The Vikings have a new defensive coordinator, Brian Flores, who was formerly the head coach of the Dolphins. Last year, he coached the linebackers for the Steelers. This guy brought the 32nd ranked defense for the Dolphins to 6th in just 1 year. His motto, you're going to love this.
Oh, I can't wait to
Do you
hear
know
it.
what his motto is?
I want to hear it.
If you can't get home with 4, send more.
I do like that. I like that. Okay.
And I already got a nickname for him.
Okay.
I already got a nickname because you got me as B Gold.
Yes.
He's B Flow.
Okay, I like that.
B Flow. Brian
might have to-
Flores, B Flow.
We may have to incorporate that into our new music coming up next
B
year.
Flow.
I like that. And for those that don't know what he's referring to when he says in order to get home, that's getting to the quarterback and sacking him, which tells me he wants to put pressure on the QB.
He says,
I like that.
He said, and he has me. He has the real deal in him. He has. I am aggressive in nature.
Does he have a tilted hat?
I didn't see
Like
one
the
yet,
one
but I'm
Humphrey
going to be
Bogart
watching.
and James Cagney used to wear?
I'm aggressive in nature. I like aggressive in nature.
Oh boy. Within the law and the rules, everybody. Don't get out of control with it.
Right. Well, we're talking football. Exactly. Or get out of town.
Yeah.
One of the others.
And if you get out of town, you got to move fast
Right.
and under cover of darkness, and you might leave stuff in places.
Exactly.
And
You might have to
gotta
mail it
make
to you later.
arrangements to get them back later.
All right.
That's living, huh?
That's living.
Hilarious.
All right. I got outside the box with the real deal.
All right.
Did you guys watch Kelly Clarkson?
No, I didn't.
You didn't watch her. You didn't watch her on the NFL awards.
I didn't.
You did not.
No.
Well, she wrote a song that for Tom Brady. I wish I.
This is interesting.
Yeah. Well, you know who sang it next to her? Kirk Cousins.
Come on. Is
Yes!
this a video or live?
It's a video. No, live.
Come on.
Live. And
Was he rocking his jewelry
he did it great. Yeah. And Kelly Clarkson said,
so he can sing?
he said, wait, Kurt, you can actually sing. And he was singing to Brady, you know, that you got to go. You got to find the video. It's just put,
I will hunt that down because his videos are hilarious.
You got to put Clarkson, and Cousins video. And I'm telling you, he could sing. Yeah, it's about Tom Brady retiring.
I can't hear it now, but I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, you got. I'm telling you, it's really good.
Good. Is it better than that song Prince made for the Vikings?
Oh my God!
I told you. Ooh, that was
They should have.
brutality.
The record label should have fired Prince after that.
Well, he probably owned it by then.
You're probably right. So that's all I got. So Cap, you got anything else? Or let's get to it's the podcast.
I'm all set.
Since You've Been Gone was the song. It's the podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. It's a podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. Normally I'm bound on the wheels of steel, but the time has come to drop the field. Be Gold is a name that I spin under, but the real deal's a guy who brings the thunder. Back in the day, it was 5 minutes of funk. The deal's on the mic, he ain't no punk. It's cool when I see you break to the beat. As Eric B. stated, don't sweat the technique. My lyrics will stand the test of time. Working the crowd with my rhyme. Now it's time to get to the show. Bringing the info so you know it's a podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. It's a podcast built to last. the podcast. We're having a blast. If you want history, check 1 and 2. All the episodes have something new. From the front to the back or the bottom to the top. The episodes deliver from the knowledge we drop. The cap is the rhyme and I am the rhythm. Like the defense, we are gonna hit them. With the fun facts and the Skull Champ. The real deal will continue to rant. Cap brings Hawks news to the show. Never losing sight, keeping the flow. The blue and the emerald green. Cap will tell you who's on the scene. Delivering hits on game day. The bam bam moment for today. It's the podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. Another episode is in the books. Keeping it real with the hooks. Tune in again later next week to hear more from the streets. Bringing the news for our teams. Nothing's off limit, so it seems. Thanks for hanging, checking us out. We'll be back, there is no doubt. All right. We finally got some music in this episode.
Yes. It's hard for us to live without music.
That's unusual.
Yeah,
This
we love our music.
episode with not a lot of songs. So the song that Kirk Cousins sang was "Since You've Been Gone," and it was Clarkson was singing it to retired Tom Brady, but Kirk Cousins stunned the crowd by singing it. So
I have to check this out. Where did they perform it at?
At the NFL
Not the Super Bowl.
award show. No, the award
okay.
show. When they gave out JJ's all his awards, when all your guys finished second or third.
Including Gino?
No, not including Gino.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. You know what, Kenneth Walker? They did him wrong. He should have been Rookie Offensive Player of the Year. You done brought it back up.
He played great.
They did him wrong.
He did great. Who beat him?
The guy from the Jets.
Oh, yeah, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I don't disagree with that. I disagree with it. No, I say I don't disagree with that. Your guy not winning.
Okay.
But didn't he miss a couple games?
He didn't even start at the beginning of the
Then
season.
that's
He
why.
missed
But
he
Garrett
did
Wilson
spot
played all
time in
year.
like 3 or 4 games.
Right, but
and
Garrett
our guy
Wilson
still
played all-
crushed his
but
stats.
Garrett Wilson played all year.
And I should say, when we played the Jets, we got the W.
You did.
And the coach of the year, the ball from the Giants,
Yep.
we beat them too. But they can't even give my guy, Pete Carroll, a nod.
Is there anybody in this room that said what a great coach the ball would be?
You did. You guys wanted him.
Yeah, exactly. Right? I mean,
But it's all good though, because adversity builds character, Top Gun. So don't pick us. It's all good. We're gonna train even harder, just like we always do in the off season. It's all good. That's what we do.
Can't wait to Drew Lock 3 and out.
If that happens, you're gonna see a different side of me because we got too many pieces. If he's not coming through, but if he's out there and he's doing 3 and outs all day, and if it's on him, lack of decision making, we're gonna have problems.
I guarantee you that everybody who listens to the show, the most used phrase all year this year was 3 and out, right?
we don't want
for our
that.
shows. We use that a lot.
Oh, we did.
And I
to the
mean-
point where there was what 10 or 11. We had to look up a record one
there
week.
was 1 week where the record was 7-3 and out.
Yeah, that's not what you want
No, it's
on
not what you
offense. On defense, you love that though.
Exactly. So, wrapping it up with the Scolders and the 12s and all you football fanatics, as I like to say, throughout the course of our long season journey here. Thanks for tuning in to this season. Tell your friends, families, and coworkers about the show. Have them tune in, check out the old episodes, subscribe. You got to subscribe. We are making some inroads on YouTube. So get on YouTube, get in there, follow the show.
Help us out.
Help us out. The next episode we will do will be the NFL Combine and a pre-draft show.
And if you don't know when the NFL Combine is, it is February 28th, which is a Tuesday, through March 6th. I forget what city it's in. And then did you mention the draft already?
I did, but when is the draft dates?
The draft will be April 27th on a Thursday
Is it in
through
Vegas
April
again?
29th on a Saturday. It's in Kansas City.
Kansas City. Oh,
How ironic.
oh, you mean the what do they call themselves? The new dynasty? Come on, guys. Come on, joke. All right. So next year, Top Gun is going to bring us a brand new opening.
Sweet.
Yep.
Season 2's opening was off the hook and on fire, literally.
Right. And we have some new songs coming up.
Yes, we do.
We're gonna update the fantasy football song
We're going to do it.
because after we beat down what was the name of the team that we beat down all year that said he was the champion and he didn't get out of the first round?
I don't want to say his name.
No, his name. What was the name of his team?
The New Haven Naturals.
Oh, the New Haven the Mackerels. Yeah, New Haven Mackerels. Come on now. We're going to take him out of the song. We gave him enough punishment this year. And it was all
starting
good.
fresh.
It was a great
All
fantasy
in
thing,
fun, all in fun.
including the New Haven Naturals. We want them back so we could beat them down some more. Because
I want to defend my title.
in 2 years of fantasy football, there's only been 2 winners. It's been the captain and the real deal. And that's it. So bring your game.
And let's see what happens.
We'll see what happens. So new songs, new rhymes,
New content,
new poems,
fresh takes,
new stuff,
everything is on point.
new gear.
You know it.
But I'm not changing the background. Not changing that. We might change the slideshow up, but we're going to continue to evolve. Top Gun keeps us on point.
Top Gun is the man.
Keeps us on point, and you might hear his voice in the background a little bit today. He's probably the most he spoke up all season, so we're going to hope to continue that. But thank you so much. It's enjoyable for me. It kind of just it gets us together. We get a little reality check.
We jab each other, but that's what brothers. That's what family does.
We jab each other, but it's all about just seeing where we can push the envelope and have a little bit of fun. But Cap, I said you're one of my greatest all-time friends.
My brother, same here, bro. You know
that I've ever had. Top Gun, we battled day to day. Actually, we all battled day to day, but Top Gun, Top Gun hears me screaming from my office every day, and he's over going, "Can I help? Can I contribute?" So, I mean, it is such a great group
No
that
doubt.
we're going to continue to battle. And you know what? We're going to break out. You know we deserve it. I watch these other things, and they're awful. They're awful. We're good. Tell your friends.
That's the real
Cap,
deal. That's the real deal, y'all.
It's you. Take it.
So real quick, I got to recap because Seattle Socrates did get back to me. And basically, he was headed over to try to get some stuff done. He's an empty nester now, and he's been dealing with his kids, getting out of the house. So I got to, throw that plug in there for him. And he said that he's going to try to get it done in the next hour and a half. So I'll give you till midnight tonight, Socrates, if you can do it. He said he went to 5 different locations, and the hat and jerseys are gone. And he said it must be a hot commodity, but he's going to keep looking. So you got till midnight, bro. That's about as good as we can do, right?
No, because I could have directed the mail from Minnesota to Seattle, the stuff I left there.
And then just return it, man. After that, Socrates, just return it back because you can't sport that on a regular basis.
Oh, wait! Breaking news!
What you got?
Breaking news!
Break it open.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before we get at it, this
Break
is
it
great.
open.
So, Top Gun was on a site, and he had to answer all these questions.
This is making me nervous.
They had to answer all these questions. Answer all these questions, and they go, "Mr. Top Gun, can you please identify your favorite football franchise?"
Come on, man. This is critical.
Score, baby! He
Come
picked
on.
the
Did you?
Vikings!
As a joke, as a prank?
No!
This is real?
No!
This how you feel?
Yeah.
This the real deal?
It was very hard.
That's top bill.
It was very hard.
I meant that he did.
Wow.
Yes!
I feel like somebody just punched me, y'all. A body blow.
A man from Philly has come over to the purple
Wow.
side because you want to know why? Because of the music, the special effects.
Okay. Then that means next year he's gonna ride with us.
You got no special effects.
Season 3, trust
it
me.
doesn't snow in your stadium.
Check to make sure you get the reinforced seat belt next year, brother.
Anyway,
We're gonna be traveling
I've
some
been meaning,
speeds.
I've been meaning to bring that up.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what website you were on, but I'm sure it was legit. If they're asking about football. I said you were making me nervous for a second there. Yeah, man. I can't believe you put that down with the purple and gold. But hats off to you and the Skull Nation. I love the Scolders.
No,
You know
and
that.
we love each other. That's as far as teams. We this is all fun.
That's good. So listen, like the sands in the hourglass, so are the days between now and the 2023 NFL football season, which is coming around the corner. Before we get there, like you said, we got the NFL Combine. We got the NFL Draft. We got NFL Training Camp, a few preseason tune-up games, and then it's go time. I also want to thank our audience, all of our loyal listeners or watchers or both. We wouldn't be here without you. We have a good time with you, and we hope you're enjoying the show. And stay tuned for season 3. It's going to go down. It's going to go down. So until then, we want you to sit back and let's enjoy each step of the journey. See you for season 3. It will be off the ground, soaring like a hawk, a Seahawk. So go Vikes and go Hawks. Peace all day. Season 2's in the books, cousin.
Cousins.
Brothers from other mothers.